Hello, sir.
Hey, how's it going?
It's good. How are you?
I'm pretty good, man.
You know, this show, obviously, there's a lot of fans of the movie who are wondering where it's going to go, but it's a true follow-up to the movie. Is that what you'd say?
I mean, definitely. It's 15 years after the movie, and it's not recreating the same characters.
Right.
It has a similar dynamic. We even mentioned the characters from the original movie.
Right.
And so what we're doing is we're actually saying, hey, look, listen, they're 15 years in the future, same setting, similar dynamic, different characters, different story, different reasons for coming into it this way.
Right.
But it's definitely something that you know, it's not, we're not trying to make you feel nostalgic. We're trying to get you to discover a new show.
And it's cool too that Antoine is involved. You know, like it doesn't always happen that way.
It doesn't, yeah.
You know, these things don't usually work that way. What was your experience with him?
You know, I hadn't got to work with him on too much on the set. You know, Jerry Bruckheimer was there a lot more than Antoine was doing a lot of other stuff. But definitely his TV and film production president was always there, relaying messages to me and watching the dailies and that kind of stuff. And it was, you know, it's so beautiful to have the people who originated the film to come and bring this show into the fold because they care about the property so much. I mean, who's going to care about it more than the people who birthed it? So, I mean, I just kind of feel honored to be a part of something that's the continuation of one of my favorite films of all time, but it's also with the people who, you know, created the original film as well.
Right. Can you set up the storyline here?
Okay, yeah. 15 years in the future from the original movie Training Day, Kyle Craig, who's my character, is a police officer, ex-Marine. He's been in there for 2 years, looking for his father's murderer. He was killed in a botched robbery. That's what he is under the impression of. He saves a baby during one of his days as a cop and becomes a big hero.
Right.
And after that, the police chief says, "Hey, listen, I want you to go undercover and investigate one of these rogue agents. His name's rogue cops, rogue detective's name's Frank Rourke, and we need you to pin this guy to the wall. We need some dirt on this guy. We need firsthand dirt on this guy." Right. So, and that's how I kind of go into it with Bill Paxton.
And there's also a possibility that Bill's character has some info on what happened to Kyle's father. Is that right?
Absolutely. You know, I feel like since Bill and my father's characters were friends, you know, I feel like what's going to end up happening, and I don't know what the storyline's going to be.
Right.
But I feel like the police chief, is played by Marianne Baptiste. I feel like there's going to be quite an antagonist thing going on there. There's something that she knows that she's not telling me either.
Right.
And there's something that he knows that he's still not telling me. And I feel like I'm caught in the middle of all these lies, and I just got to figure out who to trust. I
even love the moment that he's writing the part of the license plate that he knows on his wrist still.
Yeah.
Is it? My understanding was that he's been doing that for a long time. Is that like his father was?
Well, you know, it's one of these. It's one of those things. I was talking to some other guys on the force, and they were saying, you know, they do things like that to remind them about things. You know, they're really ritualistic as far as that goes.
Right.
Now he was writing that down on his wrist, one to remind himself to stay aware and to keep looking for that license plate.
Right.
But, you know, is it a license plate? You know, and I feel like that's what, you know, is kind of revealed at the end. But it's, you know, I mean, I doubt that we would come back to it now that the mystery's been revealed. But,
right.
Yeah.
But I did love just the touchstone moment of it that he's been doing this, I guess.
Yeah.
What are your hopes for this first season? What do you want to see him do?
You know,
big stuff.
You know, I want him to have those, you know, those moral complications and those dilemmas. I want to see how his resolve kind of stands the test against the forces of evil out there. You know, namely the cartel guys and Bill Paxton's character. So I mean, I feel like I want to see more Katrina Law and Drew Van Aker's characters, who they have really rich backstories as well. And I feel like it's going to be once you kind of get into their characters, you're going to be excited just excited to see their characters as you are to see me or Bill Paxton.
Right.
So I feel like it's definitely a lot of really cool stuff happening, and I feel like there's a lot that's going to happen with my wife as well. So I mean,
right.
I feel like there's just a lot. I'm hoping that we can dig deeper and deeper into the layers of the different characters, and I'm hoping that we can really push the conflict, and I'm hoping that we make some twists that no one sees coming.
Right.
You know what I mean? And they're like, oh my God, this is the show. This is the show that I have to watch.
Amazing.
And I'm hoping that the writers come through for me.
We'll all just cross our fingers, right?
Yeah.
Do you? I mean, working on a show like this, obviously there's a fair bit of action. Do you enjoy doing that stuff?
I really do. I enjoy the physical stuff. I've done other physical type shows on stage where I played Muhammad Ali as a boxer, and so when I'm working at doing the judo stuff and doing the Muay Thai stuff, I was a wrestler at one point as well. So it's really fun for me to be able to do that. I'm like, oh man, I get to punch this guy for a living. This is great, So I mean, it's I really did enjoy it, and I did all my own stunts except for the window scene on the show. So
right,
yeah.
But it must be cool to be able to do a show that's action and drama. And
I
get to do different things.
I mean, like, is there anything better? I mean, like, I get like the highlight reel of all the coolest acting moments you could put together in like one. Like, oh man, you get to cry and then be angry, and then you get to punch some guy, and then you get to jump out of a window, and then you get to do literally everything that you can think of. So I mean, it's just one of the greatest acting kind of roles. When you're the lead but you're a lead that has so much character. He's not just a two-dimensional guy. He's really deep, and he gets upset, and he doesn't want to lie to his wife, and he doesn't want to, and he wants to do the right thing by his father's memory, but but then he's conflicted because he doesn't even know what that is really, and it's a very human thing to have those emotions, and I feel like that's something that people will be able to connect to.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What was it like working with Bill Paxton?
Oh, well, Bill Paxton's great. I mean,
he seems like a lot of fun to work with.
I mean, he's just so down to earth, and he's one of those guys who, when you're around him, you feel safe, you feel comfortable. He doesn't give you that Hollywood kind of air about him, and you don't feel like you have to walk on eggshells when he comes into set. He every single morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, he walks into the makeup trailer. He goes, "Good morning, breakfast lovers," and he just busts through the door and he goes, "Oh, what are we doing today? Hey guys, woo! It's time to work. I can't." He's happy to be there every day, and when you're doing long days, and you're doing it for day after day.
Right.
I mean, to have that energy is great, and not only is it great, I feel like it's essential to keep the show working at its peak performance, and also, he transferred the energy transferred right to me. So once he actually wasn't there for the last 3 days of shooting, and it was just me and the rest of the guys, and I still walk in with that same energy that he would have every morning. Since he wasn't there, somebody had to bring it.
That's
you know what
cool.
I mean? So I mean, it's definitely he's definitely teaching me a lot about how to be in a leadership position. Yeah.
Right. And I mean, it must shape the show to some degree to have people like that around during
Absolutely,
filming.
yeah. I mean, because when everybody is feeling good, when everybody is feeling great and they're working at their peak, you're gonna have those magical moments where you just catch something that wasn't going to be there otherwise.
Right.
But you have to be running all cylinders, and you have to be open and honest, and you have to be giving for those things for that magic to happen.
Cool. Do you have a favorite moment that you've shot so far?
Yeah. Oh yeah. My favorite moment was the scene that me and Bill did. It's in the trailer, and we're going back and forth, and he goes, "Oh, your training day is over." And I just love the scene because when I read the script originally, I was like, "This is what the show's about. This scene is what the show's about." And I can't wait to deliver these lines to Bill Paxton. God, it's gonna be so awesome. I'm like anticipating, like, oh, when I get to Bill, I'm gonna say this. And yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed that scene, and it came out really cool. I don't know if you saw the pilot.
I have, yeah.
But you know, I feel like that scene came out way better than in the trailer. They cut it down to like half a second, but like that one exchange. But I felt like that scene had a lot of implication for when it happened in the line. So that was my favorite moment.
You guys have great energy together too.
Yeah.
You know, for what I've seen so far, it looks very cool.
Yeah, man. I feel like we're really good at finding where each other's energy level is and saying, hey, we're going to raise the energy up here, we're going to lower it here, and just being on page with each other. And that's the thing about me and Bill that's working so well, is that we can communicate non-verbally so well.
Right.
I don't know if it's because of the Southern colloquialisms and we able to just kind of be with each other, like we understand a nod or we understand a eye gesture or something like that, but we can communicate non-verbally so much that we know that if we want to raise the energy or lower the energy, we can feel where each other is going in our performances, and it just
wow.
I mean, you can't really force that kind of chemistry.
Cool. Well, the last thing I wanted to know is, do you have any moments that you know of coming, or have you shot the whole thing, or no?
No.
You've only shot a couple.
One
things.
episode.
Oh, just one.
We shot the pilot.
Oh, I
yeah,
didn't know
we're going back
that.
into production in July.
So, are you hoping to have a scene, because that opening scene where he's shooting the foam bullets at the guys with that giant gun, are you hoping for some stuff like that? Because
I am.
That was a great fun moment.
I mean, I feel like Bill Paxton's gonna get all the fun stuff.
Right.
I'm gonna get all the serious. I'm fighting and I'm getting beat up, or I'm beating people up stuff.
Well, I hope you get some foam bullets.
Oh man, I do. I hope I get a couple of fun scenes in there, and I feel like they got to figure out which direction my character needs to go in first,
Right.
because once he establishes a stronger personality, and he can have more fun.
Right.
The writing right now is still trying to figure out where he's at, and the day that he had been on during the pilot, it's he's always kind of lost.
Right.
And so it's hard for him to have a moment of levity
Right.
after his partner dies. I mean, it really just goes downhill for him.
Right.
But
Some great visceral stuff, though, to work with as an actor, I'm sure.
absolutely, the best.
That's cool. Well, thank you very much. Pleasure.
Well, thank
chatting
you.
with you.